Welcome back, students. Today we'll start new chapter, Nutrition in Animals. This is chapter number 2, Biology for class 7th. Introduction. So, we know that plant can prepare their own food, right? And what is that process? The process is photosynthesis, but animal cannot do the same. Why? Because animal don't have such special pigments or some special material that perform the process of photosynthesis, right? So animal need to be depend on others for their food. It may be directly or it may be indirectly, right? So depending on their eating habits or depending on the eating habits of animals, they are categorized into following groups. First, herbivorous animal, then carnivorous animal, then third category is omnivorous animal. Herbivores are those animals that depend directly on the plant and its products, right? And carnivores are those animals, these are those that eat other animals only. But these carnivores are indirectly depend on plants, and omnivores are those type of category, they eat both plant as well as animals, right? So the example of herbivores are sheep, zebra, giraffe, cow, etc. Then carnivores are fox, wolf, lion, shark. And omnivores example are human beings, bear, pigs, hens. These are the example of omnivorous animals. So, animals are called heterotrophs. Why they are called heterotrophs? Because animals are depend on others for their nutrition. That is why they are called heterotrophs. Heteros means others. Trophs means nutrition. When the animal depend on other for their nutrition, the animals are called heterotrophs, and their mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition, right? And in that heterotrophic nutrition, most of the animals are holozoic. What is holozoic nutrition? When the animal intake solid form of food, right? When the animal intake solid form of food, such type of nutrition is called holozoic nutrition. Means we can say the holozoic nutrition is a subcategory of heterotrophic nutrition. Then some animals are parasite, right? Depending on the varieties of their mode of nutrition in animals. So some animals are parasite. So what are the parasite? They depend on other host. They depend on other host for their food as well as shelter. But in return, it will do nothing good for them. But they harm them only. So there are two types of parasites. These are endoparasite and ectoparasite. What are endoparasite? When the organism live inside the host, that is called endoparasite. When the animal live outside their body, that is called ectoparasite, right? So the example of ectoparasite is ticks or lice, right? And the example of endoparasite are worms, many worms such as flatworms, roundworms, etc. So here we can see this ticks is living outside the body or skin of an organism, and this is a picture of the flatworm that live inside the body. Clear? And then another category is saprophagus. So these are sapro means decaying. Sapro means decaying. So these are the animals that feed on only dead and decaying matter of animals and plants. Who are they? They are earthworms, right? We know that earthworms are the friends of farmer. So what they do? They decompose those dead and decaying matter of plant and animal and convert it into the manure, right? Then scavengers. Scavengers means they are the cleaners, right? They are the cleaners. Scavengers feed on the body of the dead animals. They feed on the body of dead animals such as hyena and vulture. Here you can see they are feeding on the dead body of other animals. This is hyena and this is vulture. Steps of nutrition. So there are the various steps followed by an organism to take its nutrition. First step is ingestion. So ingestion is a process of taking the food in the body, right? So it is a process of taking the food in the body, and the different animal have different organs to intake the food. So the animals like cow, buffalo, dog and cat, they directly intake their food from their mouth. But the organism like a squirrel, human being, they use their forearms or forearms to intake the food, right? Now this ingestion is followed by the digestion. What is digestion? It is a process of breaking down the complex food into the simple soluble compound with the help of some digestive juices, which is produced by the body, which is produced in the body. So this is the digestion. Once the digestion is completed, the body performs the process of absorption. What is absorption? We know that in digestion, the complex food is turned into the simple food. So this simple food is easy to absorbed by the body, by the cell of the body, and transported to the body fluid like blood. So the blood carry the digested food or the simple food to the various part of the body, right? Then assimilation. What is assimilation? Once the food is absorbed by the cells of the body, then it is a process of absorbing the nutrients by the cell for producing the energy and growth. Clear? Then what is egestion? We know that the soluble part is utilized by the cells of the body to produce energy and growth, and the part which is not utilized by the body, it should be removed out from the body as an undigested solid part of the food. So this is the process of egestion. Nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba is a microscopic and single-celled animal, means it cannot be visible through our naked eye, and it is made up of only single cell. It has no mouth or arm to intake the food as we can, and the food of the amoeba are aquatic microscopic organism as well as particles of dead decaying organic matter. So here is the structure of amoeba. So the various part of the amoeba are cell membrane, which is the outer membrane of the amoeba. Center part of the amoeba is nucleus, and it have the various contractile vacuole, and its background is filled with cytoplasm, and it forms pseudopodia when it requires when it intakes the food. Let us see nutrition in amoeba. Ingestion. So when the amoeba comes in the contact of food, it forms a finger-like projection called pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podium means food around the food, right? And it results in the formation of the cavity or a space around the food is called food vacuole. Next step is digestion. Once the food vacuole is formed, the digestive enzyme is secreted from the cytoplasm, enter this food vacuole to digest this food from the complex form into the simpler form. Once the digestion is over, it is followed by the absorption and assimilation. The digested food is absorbed into the cytoplasm by the process called diffusion. And it is used for the energy growth and repair. Then this process is called assimilation. Now what is diffusion? The process of movement of particles from higher concentration towards the lower concentration, means the concentration of this nutrition soluble food is high inside the vacuole and low outside the vacuole. So it will definitely move from higher concentration towards the lower concentration. So this is called diffusion, right? So next, egestion. Once the undigested food is formed, it will thrown out of the body at any point, because they have no anus. Anus means the part of the body which excrete out the waste product. So this is the egestion in amoeba. Now nutrition in hydra. Hydra is a simple but multicellular organism. It has various tentacles to trap its prey. These tentacles trap small aquatic animals and kill them into its mouth, right? Now this killed prey entered in the body cavity where the digestive juice acted on it and convert into the soluble form of food. Once the food is get digested, it is then absorbed by the wall of the cavity and it is assimilated by the cells of the body for its growth and development. Nutrition in frog. So we know that a frog uses its long and sticky tongues to catch the insects, right? So it has well developed digestive system where the food is get digested by using the digestive juices. Nutrition in some other animals. In spider. If you see the structure here, the spider produces the web to trap its insect or trap its prey, right? So what it do, once the insect get trapped in this web, it start producing the web around the prey. Once the prey is trapped inside this web, then it will resulting in such type of structure. Then what it do, the spider ingest its digestive juices inside this ball-like structure and digest the parts of the body in this trap, right? And the digestion of the spider, here we can examine that the digestion of the spider takes place outside its body. Once the digestion is over inside this web, the spider then suck up all the digested food. Then in mosquito, fly and butterfly. So the mosquito, fly and butterfly use their feeding tube or proboscis to suck their food. Here we can see the mosquito is this mosquito is using its proboscis to take the blood from the human being and this butterfly is using its proboscis to intake the nectar, and this fly is using its proboscis to feed on some food. Then in a starfish, so the starfish have some special feature to ingest the food or to take the food. What it do, this starfish have some tube feet like structure to capture the food. Once it trap the food like fish or snail, what it do, it throw out its stomach over its prey and wrap around it, right? And the stomach is then withdrawn into the body where the food is get digested. Next, in a snake, snakes swallow their prey as whole. We know this, right? So thank you for the day.